The train ride home rattled with every turn, as though the tracks themselves were determined to remind Alex why he had stayed away for so long. College finals had drained the life out of him, and the idea of a weekend at his mom's suburban townhouse felt like the only safe harbor. His mom, Nora, had taken a last-minute trip with friends, so the house would be empty. Perfect. No awkward conversations. No questions about grades. Just silence. But silence wasn't what pulled at Alex's mind. It was the mirror upstairs, the one that had belonged to his late grandmother. Framed in bronze vines and roses, it sat inside a spare bedroom, half hidden behind boxes. Whenever Alex was home alone, he found himself drifting toward it, almost against his will. It wasn't just a mirror. It felt alive, heavy with unspoken invitations. As a kid, he would glance at it and swear he saw someone else, someone softer, brighter, looking back. Tonight, worn down by exhaustion and curiosity, Alex pushed open the door to the guest room. Dust motes swirled in the lamplight. The mirror stood waiting, tilted slightly forward as if leaning toward him. Alex sat on the edge of the bed, his suitcase forgotten by the door. His heart thumped. He'd promised himself he wouldn't do this again. But promises, he realized, were fragile when secrets were stronger. From the closet, he pulled out the one thing that always seemed to call to him, his mom's old trunk of vintage clothes she swore she'd donate but never did. The smell of lavender sachets clung to the fabrics. Alex's fingers brushed against silk, lace, soft cotton. He chose a long, flowing dress, cream-colored with embroidered flowers. It wasn't glamorous like the things he'd seen in magazines, but the fabric whispered against his skin like a promise. For a moment, Alex froze. His reflection in the mirror stared back, an ordinary 21-year-old guy holding something that didn't belong to him. Shame prickled at the edges of his thoughts. But then, as he slipped the dress over his head, the fabric settling against his shoulders, something shifted. The air seemed to thicken. His reflection flickered. The boy in the mirror blurred, reshaping, softer jawline, fuller lips, brighter eyes. Not completely different. Just another possibility of who he could be. Alex staggered back, breath catching. The mirror wasn't lying. It was showing him something real, something buried deep. Then a sound broke the stillness. The creak of a door downstairs. His chest tightened. His mom wasn't supposed to be home. Panic surged as footsteps climbed the stairs, slow but steady. He froze, clutching the dress against him, heart pounding in his ears. The door handle turned. Alex? A voice called. Not his mom's. It was Emma, his older cousin who'd moved in temporarily while job hunting. She wasn't supposed to be back this early. The door cracked open, and her eyes widened as they landed on him, standing in front of the mirror, wrapped in the dress, his face lit by the lamplight. Alex's world stopped. But instead of disgust or laughter, Emma tilted her head, eyes narrowing not in judgment but in calculation. A small, knowing smile tugged at her lips. "You found it," she said softly, stepping inside. Her gaze flicked to the mirror, then back to him. "I was wondering how long it would take." Alex's breath hitched. "Found what?" Emma shut the door behind her with a quiet click. "You think this is just a dress-up game, don't you?" she whispered. "You don't know what that mirror can really do." The words dropped into the room like stones in water, sending ripples through Alex's mind. He glanced at the mirror again, and this time, the reflection wasn't waiting. It was smiling. The room felt smaller now, as though the walls themselves leaned in to eavesdrop. Alex's throat was dry, his hands clutching the folds of the embroidered dress like a child clinging to a blanket. I don't understand," Alex stammered. His reflection in the bronze-framed mirror flickered again, eyes shimmering brighter than his own. "It's just a dress. Emma cut him off with a quiet laugh, not cruel but unsettling in its calm. "No, Alex. That mirror isn't just a mirror. It's been in our family for generations. Haven't you ever wondered why your grandmother kept it covered with sheets when guests came over? The memory hit like a spark, his grandmother's stern voice, "Never stare too long, Alex. Some reflections aren't ready to be seen." Emma stepped closer, her eyes locked on him. "I know what you saw. I've seen her too." Alex froze. "Her?" Emma nodded slowly. "The other you. The version the mirror shows when you stop fighting and let yourself be seen. She's been waiting for you." The words sent shivers racing down his spine. He turned to the mirror again. The reflection leaned forward, lips curved in a soft, encouraging smile. For the first time, Alex realized it wasn't copying his movements. It was leading them. His knees buckled, and he sat heavily on the edge of the bed. "This is insane. I just wanted to try something on. That's all." Emma crouched in front of him, her expression softening. "Alex, I won't tell you what this means for you. That's not my place. But I know one thing, the mirror doesn't lie. It shows what's buried deep inside." Silence filled the room, thick with the weight of her words. Finally, Emma stood and crossed to the closet. She rummaged for a moment before pulling out a small, velvet box. She held it out to him. "Grandma left this for whoever the mirror chose next." "I never opened it because," her voice faltered for the first time. "It wasn't for me." Alex hesitated, staring at the box as though it might burn him. The reflection in the mirror tilted her head, urging him on. His fingers trembled as he opened it. Inside lay a silver pendant shaped like a crescent moon, delicate and gleaming even in the dim light. The moment his skin touched the cool metal, the mirror shimmered violently, the reflection sharpening until it looked more real than he did. The girl in the glass, his other self, lifted her hand, and the pendant appeared around her neck at the same instant. Alex gasped, stumbling back. It's me." Emma's smile was bittersweet. "No, Alex. It's her. And she's been waiting for you to stop running." The mirror girl raised her hand again, and this time, the glass rippled like water. For a heartbeat, Alex swore he felt a tug, gentle but insistent, pulling him forward. His pulse roared in his ears. One choice. Step back and bury this night forever, or step closer and learn the truth of who he might be. "Emma," he whispered, voice shaking. "What happens if I touch it?" Emma's eyes darkened, unreadable. "Then everything changes." And before Alex could think, his reflection pressed her palm flat against the inside of the glass, waiting for his. Alex's breath fogged the air as he stood frozen, the mirror pulling at him like a tide. His reflection, no, her reflection, waited with an open palm pressed against the glass. Her eyes glimmered with the kind of certainty he'd never felt in his own skin. Emma's voice was low but steady. "You don't have to, Alex. But if you do, there's no going back." The words echoed, but his heartbeat drowned them out. His fingers lifted, shaking, until they hovered inches from the cold surface. Every instinct screamed stop. Yet something deeper, older, whispered yes. The moment his palm touched the glass, the world cracked open. A shock rippled through him, not pain but a rush of heat and weightlessness, like stepping into sunlight after years underground. The mirror shivered, its surface turning liquid, and suddenly Alex was falling forward. Emma gasped, grabbing for him, but her hand passed through air. He landed not with a thud but with a featherlight drift onto polished marble. The room around him was vast, endless, lined with countless mirrors stretching into infinity. Each pane shimmered with different versions of himself, some subtle, some unrecognizable. But one reflection stood at the center, no longer bound by glass. The girl from the mirror. She was breathtaking, familiar yet impossibly new. Her eyes held the same storm of fear and longing that had haunted Alex for years, only steadied now with clarity. "Welcome," she said, her voice a perfect echo of his, softened into something musical. "I've been waiting for you." Alex's throat closed. Who are you?" She smiled gently. "I'm you. The part you've hidden, the truth you've tried to bury." This place, she gestured to the endless mirrors, is where all possibilities live. But only one can step forward. Alex's knees weakened. You mean? I have to choose? She shook her head. Not choose. Accept. You've always been two people sharing one life. The mirror only shows what your heart already knows. His chest tightened. The pendant around his neck glowed faintly, pulsing with his heartbeat. He felt taller, lighter, as though the air itself reshaped him. For a dizzying second, his reflection merged with hers, his jaw softening, his frame shifting, his voice in his ears reshaping like clay. No, Alex staggered back, clutching at his chest. This isn't real. The girl tilted her head. Then why does it feel more real than anything else? Behind him, one of the infinite mirrors cracked. Then another. The sound rang out like breaking ice, jagged and sharp. The world around him trembled. Time's running out, she whispered. If you turn away, the door closes. But if you step through me, you'll never have to hide again. Alex's lungs burned, his mind racing. He glanced once at the mirror where his old self remained, ordinary, tired, afraid. Then back at her, radiant, unafraid, whole. Emma's faint voice reached him from somewhere far away, muffled like she was shouting through water. Alex! Can you hear me? The mirror, it's changing. You have to decide now. Alex's reflection stretched out her hand again, palm up this time. Her smile was not demanding, not desperate. Just patient. Alex's hand trembled. His lips parted. And slowly, with a mix of terror and wonder, he reached forward. The mirrors around him shattered into a storm of silver light. And Alex's world went black.